Hey, TYT Sports, Ben Mankiewicz and Steve O here. So I want to talk a little bit about the quarterbacks in the NFL draft because two of them, there were three storylines. First of all, that Blake Bortles went with the number 3 pick, which felt high to a lot of smart people, but the flip side is if you feel like you have to have that quarterback and you're the Jaguars and you think then it's not high because you're not getting him later. You can try to trade down, but you don't know because Cleveland's playing so coy at 4, Cleveland might just take him at 4. You have to take him. So, he probably wasn't 3rd, but that's where you're picking, and you can't have a team without a quarterback, and you don't have a quarterback.
I don't have a problem with taking a guy 3rd if you think he should be taken 8th, but you don't have the 8th pick. You have the 3rd pick.
Right, totally. You got to, and especially at that position where you have to make an attempt. So I got no beef with that. What was interesting then was the storylines of Johnny Manziel and Teddy Bridgewater. Because while both fell dramatically, both went to teams that then traded up and made a real effort to get them. So both those teams saw some value in them. I want to mention first, Steve, what Jerry Jones said about Manziel, because I thought it was telling, and why I can't hate Jerry Jones, because he's candid in a way that most people in the sports world aren't. When the Cowboys picked 16th, he was the highest rated player they had, Manziel said. But a couple of things. He recognizes Tony Romo is well into his 30s and might not have that much more time left, but he thought this is not the right guy to have as a backup for Romo, because as soon as Romo, he didn't say this, but we know as soon as Romo throws the 2 fourth-quarter picks, everyone in Dallas will be clamoring for Johnny Football. And Jones said, this guy's a rock star. He's Elvis. Like, we couldn't have that. So and I thought that was like an interesting thing to say. So then he slides, and then Cleveland does this great thing where they move from 4 to, I guess, 9, and they still get the top DB that they had for them. They they also then have the 26th pick, and then they trade up 4 spots to get to 26, giving up a 3 that they'd essentially got from Buffalo in that other trade, and they pick up a number 1 next year, and they get Manziel and didn't have to take him at 9. It may turn out that these guys aren't any good, but from a maneuvering point of view, the day it happens, it was really well done by Cleveland.
It was excellent. I couldn't believe how much they got just to move down from 4 to 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. I don't know which was. Yeah.
I mean, getting next year's 1st and 4th, right?
I think a 3, which they then gave up to move up 4 spots to get Manziel. But that's
amazing.
So they get a quarterback, they get a defensive back. It was really well done by them. And then the Vikings, you saw Bridgewater fall as far as he did, but then the Vikings trade up to the last pick of the 3rd round, the first round.
I actually
and get Bridgewater.
I'm high on Anthony Barr. I'm a little biased because I'm a UCLA fan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I think Anthony Barr and Bridgewater in the 1st round, that's nicely done.
It is, although the knock on Bridgewater was that his accuracy at the combine, on his draft day, was bad. On his NFL day, right? His pro day, right? Was bad. And I saw the tape, because I guess many people have, but it's not like it's not hidden. You can see it. That's a correct assessment. You're like, wow, this guy can't, these guys, they're not covered, right? They're just running downfield, and he can't hit them.
Oh,
so
that's terrible. Yeah,
so that killed him. Was it a bad day? Was he a guy who was nervous? Who knows? The knock on him at Louisville that was always the accuracy. So, but I liked it anyway at the end of the 1st round, and when you might need a quarterback, and the Vikings do.
My concern with Bridgewater is that he was a product of a very, very good coach and a good system. And, he made the most of it. But I still believe in him. I just have a little bit of concern that he will not be able to make it in the NFL because of those same reasons. He's got a problem with his build. He's a bit of a slight build, and accuracy. And accuracy is a real problem because what he needs to do is he needs to hit those short passes in rhythm. And if you're not accurate, I mean, you can't hit those. The great thing for Bridgewater is that he has Adrian Peterson taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Yeah, that does. That definitely makes a difference. The one thing that I love about the NFL draft is how no one will say anything negative after a pick has been made. The NFL draft is like a peculiar lesson in how not to be an honest broadcaster. These 4 guys are out there. They all with the Strahan and the Mel Kiper and Chris Berman and whoever else the other guy they had there was, right? So these guys and they all share their thoughts on who the pick should be, right? And they're very adamant. Let's just make a team up, right? The Jaguars. You got to go defense here. You got to go defense. You got to shore up the defense. You got Bortles. You got to show up the defense. And they're all like, yeah, shore up the defense. And then Roger Goodell steps up there, or whoever is the 2nd round, and they say, After saying they got to show up to the events, they'll go, takes Steve-O, a wide receiver, Cornell University. And they're like, I love this pick. I'm like, motherfucker, I was right here when you said 2 seconds ago.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
It's totally true. I mean, a couple years ago when the Raiders selected Darius Hayward-Bay over Michael Crabtree, they're like, yeah, interesting pick. He's really, really fast. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he fits in with the Raiders tradition of extending the. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. That was a terrible pick.
Just say I hate the pick. You might be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. We acknowledge that we don't know. They haven't played. So I just love every single time. It's got to be a linebacker. They got two choices. Either one of those guys has got to be offensive lineman. Zach Jones of LSU. This is a great pick. Got to open up some holes. You're like, dude, just fucking be honest with what you just said. Okay, so the quarterback slide was interesting because then it waited really till the end of the draft for some big-name quarterbacks, Aaron Murray of Georgia, A.J. McCarron of Alabama, and Zach Mettenberger, LSU, the three SEC guys.
And Derek Carr.
And Derek Carr, also significant slide, right? Not from the SEC, but a significant slide. And if you look at because we talk about this too simply, like we look the Tom Brady stories, the success stories late in the draft, and Bleacher Report did a nice segment on the top 10 late round quarterbacks, and I was struck by it because a lot of these guys have not been there for a while. Let me read you the names on this list. Number 10, Mark Bulger, that's 2000. Number 9, Mark Brunell in the 5th round, 93. 8, Rich Gannon, that's 1987, 4th round. Brad Johnson is 7th, 1992, 9th round. In the 6th spot from the 6th round, 1998, Matt Hasselbeck. Number 5, Mark Rippon, that's 1986. Number 4, Joe Theismann, that's 1971 in the 4th round. And then the Bart Starr is on that list.
Oh my God.
At 3rd. Roger Staubach, that's 1964, and then Tom Brady from 2000 is the obvious the best late round quarterback pick that's ever been. So, and Stan Humphries was a 6th round pick. There are plenty of others who have started in the league, but it's a crapshoot because none of those lists include all the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and before we stopped the draft at 7 rounds, quarterbacks who've been taken who never drew a snap or finished their career 4 of 9 and 2 interceptions and 81 yards, or were career backups. So. And the Chicago Bears player personnel guy was like, yeah, the late round quarterback is horseshit. But there is an acknowledgement that you can go into the 2nd round. And I think that's partly what hurt Manziel and Bridgewater is there's slightly less panic about the 1st round quarterbacks because now with Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, even Andy Dalton, and then Nick Foles, like there are 2nd round quarterbacks who can be franchise quarterbacks now. But you get beyond that and you're flipping. You're not even flipping a coin. You're flipping a coin and hoping you get heads 4 straight times. Like it's really unlikely the deeper you get into the draft. And the mere fact that we had to go back significantly into the 60s and 70s to get a top 10 list of late round quarterbacks, I think bears that out.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Also, keep in mind that playing quarterback in the NFL has got to be one of the toughest things in sports. And so many things have to go right for you to succeed. One, you have to have the talent. You have to have the proper development. You need to have the proper system in place. So, I mean, there are certain guys who are so talented and undeniably talented, like a Cam Newton. Okay, so you go with Cam Newton, but so many other guys, Jamarcus Russell, for example. I don't know. Maybe I'm a genius, but I felt that just watching his college games, like this guy, he's not pro material.
He's not serious.
He's not serious. He's not a pro quarterback, and he went number 1 overall. And I can't believe that teams that employ all this personnel, spend millions of dollars to get the best investment, would go with Jamarcus Russell. But that happens time and time again.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm kidding. I mean, it sounds like a joke, but I mean, it was the Raiders, and the Raiders have routinely have made mistakes like that.
Right. Right. So that being said, anyone who is, so if there's let's say 100 athletes who play quarterback, only a handful are going to have everything in place, where they have the talent and the system and all of that to succeed in the NFL. So you're right. Once you go past the first couple of rounds, anyone who has that talent is already gone.
Yeah, you might.
You're so lucky to get someone later on.
I didn't see enough of Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray always struck me as a guy who could probably play in the NFL, but I don't know. But they're and so whoever got him, that's okay. It's a worthy pick to make. but nobody should think that they've got the answer in any way. It's just, it's too hard. It's got to be in this early round. And the success of the second rounders, though, has let people skip on the first round, I think. And I think that's
even like Matthew Stafford, who everyone would agree is an NFL caliber quarterback. You take away Calvin Johnson, and let's see how well he does.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like the best in average quarterback.
Very, very average, right? Yeah.